and welcome to Dystopian Simulation Radio. I'm your host, Chris.
And I'm Linz. What was that? Hello.
I don't know, I went a little bit Mrs. Doubtfire, didn't I?
Yes, I was like, why is Mrs. Doubtfire here?
I don't know, I haven't watched that movie since I was on a bus in France when I was in high school, so I'm not really sure
the
why
school
that came
trip.
to me. Yeah.
Nice. I love the school trip. We always went to France. I
Yeah.
guess it's nearby, but yeah, we always went to France. I watched it last Christmas.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, it still holds up.
I can imagine so. I want to say it was like last year, but I think it was probably about 9 years ago. I watched The Birdcage with Robin Williams, the first time I'd ever seen it on a plane.
Birdcage.
It is amazing if you haven't seen it.
What is that about again? I've watched like so many of his movies, but
so it's an adaptation of a stage play, which really comes across in it. And basically, it's about a gay couple who are living together. One of them is very out and gay, and the other one has not come out and told their parents, but their parents are coming to visit, so they have to pretend that they're roommates, but they're very, very clearly a gay couple.
Yep, I saw the trailer for it 2 months ago or something like that, just coincidentally, but I've never watched the movie. Yeah, I did see the trailer. I don't know where it was. Was it like Max or something?
I don't have Max, so I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
Probably it probably is on that type of thing. Yeah, Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. Definitely worth a watch.
All right, okay, I'm going to watch it then. Because like the trailer made it look a bit like the trailer gave the whole story away. So I was like, do I need to watch it?
It's pretty much, if you've ever seen an episode of Frasier, it's pretty much the same sort of setup, except...
You love Frasier, don't you?
Oh, I do. I really do.
You
love
do?
Frasier.
You love it. That was honestly like, that was
Oh,
on
baby, I hear the
repeat.
blues are calling.
Toss salads and scrambled eggs.
Well, I got you pegged.
That was honestly on repeat in the early 2000s, I think it was. Was it?
Yeah, early 2000s.
It still is
90s.
now.
Yeah, well,
I'm
there was
sure
a new
it's still
series.
on repeat. What? No.
I haven't seen it, but it was on, like, kind of rebooted it, I think. Only
the dad had a Jack Russell, I remember that much, but that's
Eddie.
all I remember. Yeah, Eddie.
Hmm.
Jack Russell's had such a time. Remember Wishbone on Nickelodeon? No. What? Okay. Mr. had never seen Back to the Future but studied film. Of course he hasn't seen Wishbone. All of America is booing you right now.
Oh. Well, speaking of which, while you're booing, guys, just put something out there. So I previously lived abroad. I worked with loads of Americans, and they were always shocked that Seinfeld never really caught on in the UK.
Yeah, like, it caught on in Sweden, apparently.
Yeah, we
but
have
not
it,
in the UK.
Or we had it, like, and it was repeated on Paramount Plus. But we were like, so, like, what, like, American shows? Well, what was that? The biggest, like, American comedy show?
Friends.
Friends, Frasier, and like Frasier, and
Sex in the City.
Well, I don't call that. That's just a tragedy. But
Sex in the City is iconic.
Okay, to be fair,
it is.
I have not seen it, but I did have to sit through Sex in the City 2.
The movie sucks.
Where they cure
I know it's
racism.
Bad, but I like it. Okay, I know it's bad, but
hey, you can like whatever you want.
But I do enjoy the series. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. I know it's ridiculous and everyone hates it, but I did get a few laughs out of it back in the days. I was a child and I shouldn't have been watching it, but I got a few laughs. Oh gosh.
But yeah, Americans are always really surprised when I'm like, oh yeah, Frasier. Like Frasier and Friends. They're like, Friends I get, but Frasier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is it really? What is it even about? Does he work at a radio station? He likes a woman. His dad's old. His brother's a bit weird, but you like him.
In love with the help. The British help.
The British help, yeah. Of course, they've got some kind of British...
He's got an unseen wife.
That's
Maris.
Right. Yeah, that's right. But it was old by the time it came out in England, right? Wasn't it?
Well, I mean...
It was already
broadcast
dated
as it was out.
Oh God, was it?
I think Channel 4 used to have it on, and then Paramount used to put it on repeat. But anyway, this is not Frasiercast, but coming to a Patreon near you sometime soon.
I think no. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'll save that for Patreon.
Okay. Speaking of Patreon, we must say a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. You literally do keep the lights on when it comes to keeping this podcast going. We couldn't do it without you, so we do really appreciate it. So we need to say a big old thank you to...
Oh, is it my turn, Chris?
It is.
Okay, the beautiful Tony Taylor, Ethan Claffin, Michael Conliffe, A Hawk, Chris Lebowski. He has been going off in the Patreon chat, Chris. You've got to get in there. A. Beatrice Yambrock, Ordained Sinister Minister. Awesome. Graves, Riff Cult, Cropley Crab, Cash Broaders, Creepy Paper, Jamie Sook, Lindsay Keller, Mike Wright, Linz Gibson, Craig Harvick, Michael M, Wesley Akers, congrats Wesley, The Toxic Avenger, Pip Marchi, and Philip Hoffman.
Thank you all so much. Yes, I will be making a return to Patreon. Linz is kind of holding the fort down. My life is currently upside down at the moment and in a million boxes. So I don't know where I've put the keys to the Patreon. So let me find them.
You are missed, Chris. You are missed.
I'll be back.
You'll be back. Also, new bonus episode went up today.
Oh, yes.
And we have one waiting in the wings. I told everybody the next one is going to be really good. It was a story that I had never heard before, and it could have made Maine. Honestly, it's that good. Maybe it will one day.
It might do one day, but right now it's a Patreon exclusive.
Exclusive.
Let's just say you'll never look at the moon in the same way again.
Or motel beds.
No. Now, Linz, actually,
yes,
it's quite a nice little segue, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. This is our thing now.
Since we investigated a conspiracy theory,
yes,
your Denver airports, spy whales, that type of a thing. So I thought, let's crack open the conspiracy filing cabinet again. And there was one that's been sitting there for a while, gathering dust. And I simply thought, go on then, you'll do. And if that hasn't got you excited enough for this episode, dear listener, let me tell you, you're going to hear my brain explode about the universe again.
Oh, God.
No, don't switch it off. Stop. We're also going to be
black holes.
investigating the theory. Oh, there's a lot of holes in this. But we're going to be investigating the theory that the Earth is essentially a giant Kinder Egg.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Also, you don't know. Okay, I don't really eat them, but I buy them. Okay. You don't know how many Kinder Eggs I buy per month, Chris.
I think we all want to know, though. So, how many do you estimate you buy per month?
I would say at least 10.
Oh my God! What are you doing with all of these toys?
Well, it's sort of a special interest. And for my birthday, Septembrio, he sent me basically the most perfect gift. Not to shade you, Chris. Chris sent me exactly nothing, everybody.
So it's in the works.
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
Septembrio sent me basically the vintage adult version of Kinder Egg toys. It was lots of little bronze animals, which absolutely hits home for me.
Right.
I have a bit of an obsession with really small animal I don't know how to say this. Very small statuettes or little figurines. The smaller, the better. I have some that are 0.5 centimeters and also in the millimeters. It's a special interest of mine that Chris clearly didn't know about.
I did not know this, but my goodness.
Kinder Eggs, that really hits. If I have a bad day, if I have to go to a mental health appointment or something, or if I'm just sad, I'll buy a Kinder Egg. And I don't really eat the chocolate every time. I'll just look at the toy and be like, hell yeah, small koala.
Let me tell you, Linz, if you ever join me one day on a trip to Japan,
I know
you might explode.
It would bankrupt me. I know. 100%.
The gacha machines.
Yeah, exactly. And like, obviously, I don't know where it started, but when I was a kid, I had like Poppy in my pocket, Kitty in my pocket,
Oh
Monster
yeah,
in my pocket. Do you remember those?
yeah, I remember
I
those.
went ham on those, and also like Pokemon figures and Kinder eggs. And every time I'm sad as an adult, Kinder egg.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just how it is.
Well,
So
that
knowing
was
the Earth is a Kinder egg
yeah,
makes me happy, and
that was
also makes me think
interesting.
about Hitler.
Wow, you're hitting on all of the themes we're going to be
Yeah.
exploring today. This is whew. Have you ever heard of then the Hollow Earth theory?
I have, but in classic Lynn style, I don't know that much about it. I only know that it's a thing, and that's as far as it goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to the actual theory, we kind of need to just think a little bit about how much we actually know about the universe and indeed the Earth, how much we know. And the answer is not that much. And did you hear the big interstellar news this week, Linz?
The big interstellar news. I
Yeah.
don't think I did.
Well, we have detected, I say we as if I'm somehow involved in this community. I'm not. But but we as a human race that I shall tag onto have detected only the third interstellar object ever to enter our solar system.
The third.
Now, I mean, there's probably been more,
Oh,
but
okay. Right.
they're
That was
probably
very misleading. I was like, wait a minute.
the third one that we've been able to detect, because we haven't been able to detect them this early before. Essentially, this is a big body, right? That is
Hmm.
kind of, well, it's likely a comet of some kind, but that's kind of doing it a bit of a disservice. It's largely made up of ice, and we can tell that from the tail that it's developed, and dust grains mixed in with that ice as well. It's too early to know, but some scientists are hypothesizing that this might be part of a planet that was broken off upon impact with some other body. Maybe it isn't, but it's too early to tell. But it's all very exciting. And this thing has been wandering through space for who knows how long. And guess what? It's going to do a flyby of the Earth
Oh,
later
God.
this year. It's going to miss us by a country mile. It's absolutely fine. But you'll be able to see it in September and then again in December after it passes by the far side of the sun. Thankfully, it's going nowhere near us because this is a chunky boy. It is 12 miles across and traveling at around 200,000 miles per hour. Just slightly slower than the thoughts that race around my head about this thing.
So you're saying that Septembrio could see this on his birthday?
He could. He could. He just needs to look to the skies, and as long as it's not a cloudy Canadian evening, he should be good to
I'm
go.
pretty sure he's always looking at the skies, knowing him.
I mean, I heard he's in a shoegazing, but anyway.
Boot gazing.
But moving on to our conspiracy, a little bit of science here. I'm sorry, we do.
Please tell me that you looked this up and didn't just like do a free thinking experiment like you did about the black holes.
That wasn't really through thinking. That was just talking about the capacity of the human the mind to process that there may not be a beginning and there may be an infinite, and the infinite, if there was not what's infinite, what came before the infinite? Nothing can come before the infinite. And anyway, we're not going down that road again. But when we talk about hollow earth theory, that implies that the notion of a hollow world is actually a possibility. But are there any planets out there that we know of that are hollow worlds? Not a gas giant, but a rocky planet that is like a Kinder Egg, hollow inside. In short, Linz, no. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, though, we're just about 20 minutes into this, so we do have to continue looking into this theory a little bit further. We can't stop here. So, the closest thing in the universe that we can loosely say is hollow would be Mars's moon Phobos.
Okay.
It's not really hollow, just so much as it's loosely packed, not as dense as we think of as being a planet. However, there is at least a partial void in it. However, Phobos cannot support any life and is tiny compared to any actual planet that we know of, just 13.6 miles across. So slightly bigger than our mystery interstellar visitor that is en route to say hello later this year.
So he's like a gassy Malta.
A gassy Malta?
Small and not densely packed, so possibly gassy?
Well, okay, sorry. I mean, no, it's not made of any gas.
Okay.
No, Lindsay, just come
But
on.
if he's not
Stay with the program here.
if he's not densely packed, then what is he made of?
So it's made of rock, as most planets, true planets are, but there is a void, partial void in the center.
Like me. Planet Linz discovered.
So this is the closest thing that we can possibly come to it, but it's not really truly hollow Earth in so much as you might imagine. The idea of a shell, hollow, but supporting things in space, also, I'm sorry, defies physics. A floating Kinder Egg in space would unfortunately collapse under its own weight as gravity crushes empty spaces and the force pulling the material would pull on each side equally to meet in the center. That would be immense, and essentially it would just pull on it all and eventually create a planet as we know it. So, okay, this seems like it's one and done, but is there more to the hollow Earth theory? Well, yes, there is. We need to go back to where it all started, and we need to speak with Halley of the Comet fame, not Paramore. Edmund Halley has what they call in the scientific community huge cojones, and they swing large in the night sky as every astronomer gazes upon his wrinkly sack. I think I lost that analogy a while back. But anyway, he is the big Billy Bollocks, and he's responsible for our knowledge of loads of things.
Was he like a astronomer?
Yeah,
mathematician,
exactly.
or what was he?
Kind of all of the above. He was responsible for our knowledge about loads of things. He is the one who worked out how to calculate the distance between Earth, Venus, and the Sun, how to work out the proper motion of fixed stars, terrestrial magnetism, and the trajectory of probably the most famous thing that he's known of, Halley's Comet.
Oh.
So he's got a serious CV of knocking it out of the park. But one day, he woke up and decided that the Earth was just a big empty egg. So, Linz, because I know that you love reading complex scientific stuff, I would like you to please read the following for us.
In 1692, Halley put forth the idea of a hollow Earth consisting of a shell about 500 miles, 800 kilometers thick, two inner concentric shells, and an innermost core. He suggested that atmospheres separated these shells and that each shell had its own magnetic poles, with each sphere rotating at a different speed. Halley proposed this scheme to explain anomalous compass readings. He envisioned each inner region as having an atmosphere and being luminous and possibly inhabited, and speculated that escaping gas caused the aurora borealis. He suggested auroral rays are due to particles which are affected by the magnetic field, and rays parallel to Earth's magnetic field. And that means absolutely nothing to me, Chris. And it was very difficult to get through. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Basically, what he's saying is, look, I have discovered lots of magnetic anomalies, and the only explanation that I can find is that the Earth must be hollow, made of multiple layers that are likely inhabited. Stop laughing.
Well, I could have read that. Thank you very much. Currently sweating, by the way. Thank you.
So, Halley loved this theory so much.
Isn't it Halley?
I mean, I've always said Halley.
It's two L's.
Okay. Two L's in hell as well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it's pronounced hell.
Hail.
Halley.
Go to hell. So we say it in Swedish, isn't it? Go to hell.
Helvete.
Halley loved this theory so much that he had an official portrait commissioned in which he's holding a paper showing exactly how the Earth was hollow. So, Linz, could you please describe what Hales?
This is much more my speed, yes. Ooh. Isn't he British, Halley?
Yes, he is.
Okay. He looks British. All right, so we have a man. I'm thinking that might be a wig. I don't want to expose him, but he has a middle parted, frizzy kind of touching the shoulder blondish hair. If you remove that in Photoshop, you'd just be sort of like a bald British guy. And he's holding, oh, I see. He's got ruffles at the wrists. He's wearing some kind of velvet, I would assume, dark maroon kind of tunic. And he's holding a piece of paper that weirdly looks like it's been badly photoshopped with a pic because the perspective is off.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Yeah, it's a very strange portrait, but I guess they're just trying to be on the nose with this. But he's holding what looks like a. Is it dissected or bisected? I'm going to say bisected jawstopper. It's a little circular thing, and you can see all these different rings, and inside there's this one core sphere, and that's, yeah, he's in front of a bookshelf or something. I don't know. He's got a little bib on, like he's about to eat lobster. That's as good as I can do for you guys on this very hot day.
No, you're very right. He's sort of he looks quite crabby.
Yes, exactly.
And perhaps that's because he hasn't had any lobster yet.
He looks like he's boiling in 30 degrees with a velvet tunic and ruffles and a weirdly perspective picture.
Well, it never used to be this hot in our area of the planet Linz.
Oh, God, yeah. Let's not get into that, but whew.
So, I mean, as you can see, this is what he's kind of talking about here. It's not really so much a hollow Earth. That's when I think of hollow Earth, I think of the Kinder Egg. It's a shell with nothing in the middle. But that's not what was being proposed here by Halley. It was that there was multiple levels to it. There was a sort of Dante's Inferno of rings going down and down and down until eventually you did hit a planet's core. So he's not necessarily saying that there isn't a core. It's just that there's lots of empty voids between it.
Oh, okay, right. I didn't get that part. But yeah, there is like white rings around it. I suppose like even the shallow surface has a lot of different layers to it. So, but yeah.
To be fair, I mean, that part isn't wrong. There are layers to the Earth. There's lots of different layers. It's just that
exactly, yeah.
As far as we
but
are
the
aware,
center is what we're interested in.
Yes.
And also his idea that there's like, so you say that he thought there was like these empty sort of rings around these different segments of.
Yeah, he was partially inspired by the rings of Saturn and thought that perhaps what had happened to Saturn was that it had kind of somehow these rings had exploded onto the outside, and what we were seeing there was a young planet in comparison to Earth kind of being formed.
What year was this, by the way?
He was doing all of this in the kind of 1692. This was actually, excuse me.
Yeah, that's philosophical for the time. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was onto something. It's very creative that he thought it was like the rings of Saturn, but inverted almost.
Yeah, I mean, this is all very creative.
It's very creative.
No one will take issue with that. It's just that it's wrong.
It's just the rest of it.
Yeah. If it was labelled as science fiction, you'd have no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And there is a lot of stories like that, actually.
And there are, and we're going to get on to some of them, actually.
Ooh, okay.
This theory kind of lost traction with the death of Edmund Halley in 1741, when he was tragically crushed by a comet. But
what? No. Is that like that? Is that a joke?
Yes, it is a joke.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
But in the 19th century, a certain learned gentleman by the name of John Cleve Symmes Jr. began campaigning that there were certainly bloody massive holes at the North and South Poles. Linz, would you like to see the proof?
Yes, of course.
Well, if you would, take a gander upon John Sims' hole.
Ooh. Wait, what am I looking at? Oh, okay. Sims' hole, as it would appear to a lunarian with a telescope. Oh, okay, from the moon,
From
I'm
the
guessing.
moon, yeah.
This is I'm guessing it's a graphite or lead pencil drawing of, let's just say it's very awkward to gaze into a man's hole.
Mm.
So we have like what do you call it? Topographical?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the word? Sort of like a topographical map, but with a big ass hole in it. That's all I've got to say on that. Yeah, there's a hole that is. It looks like it has some suction force to it.
So this
That's
is
going deep.
yeah. It goes all the way into the Earth.
So what's that? Like 4,000 miles of a deep hole? I don't know
Yeah,
how.
it goes
How
all the way
deep?
through
Where's
to the
the
other side.
how deep is the Earth's core?
No, it doesn't just go to the Earth's core. It goes all the way through to the other side.
Through the planet.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Bugs Bunny dug this and turned up in Albuquerque or something?
But what Sims was trying to show was that there was just basically a big hole at the North Pole and a corresponding hole at the South Pole. And if one was on a sailboat, you got through the treacherous poles, you could just sail down the hole and gravity would keep you there and you could get onto the inside of that hole.
So you could like warp to the other side or just the core?
Well, you can warp to the other side, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be warping per se, because
God.
all of the rules that apply that we know that apply on Earth would still apply to us there. So you'd be able to jump, but gravity would still bring you back down again. It's just that at a certain point, you would kind of, if you were in a sailboat, you would kind of go and flip around, and then you'd be inside the Earth.
Oh, so more like a Sega Mega Drive, Sega Genesis game kind of thing.
Yeah, why not? It's basically like, imagine I can't think of an analogy for this. Think of the Kinder Egg. Right?
When in doubt, Kinder Egg.
Think of a Kinder Egg, okay? You've poked a hole in the top and the bottom. Technically, if you had a tiny, tiny, tiny little toy car on the outside, you could allow it to just go whoop, and it would still stick to the inside when it went around the curve.
Oh, so you could get... Oh, okay. So via the Earth's core, you could get to the other side.
Yes.
So it has its own gravitational pull, which implies that it's sort of like a planet in itself.
More just like you're stuck to the other side of it.
Oh, so it has its own gravitational pull, but
It
it's
doesn't
not
have its
necessarily
own gravitational pull in some. It's just that it shares the same gravitational pull that we do.
Oh, so there's just a little gap.
Yeah.
That you can be like funneled down. Okay, right.
Not really. Not a little gap. A big old hole. So what he was saying is, you can see the hole and then it opens up to kind of Earth-sized again. So don't think of it like a Mario warp tube. Don't think of it like you would just kind of fall until you got to the other side, and it'd be a quick way of getting from north to south. It would take.
So this is a whole like Lord of the Rings journey through Sims Hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. It was more of a saga. Right, I'll let you proceed.
Yeah. So Sims was an American army officer. He was a tradesman and later a lecturer on this whole theory. And he began, again, to ponder the rings of Saturn and hypothesized that the Earth had similar rings, only under the rock that we stood. And this caused Sims to start thinking more and more until he came up with this whole theory. And he made a public declaration in a circular that he put out to the scientific community that said, I declare the earth is hollow and habitable within, containing a number of solid concentric spheres, one within the other, and that it is open at poles 12 or 16 degrees. I pledge my life in support of this truth, and I am ready to explore the hollow if the world will support me and aid me in my undertaking.
I mean, I would definitely donate to his GoFundMe to send him into his own hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much, but this is what he wanted to do. He
Mm-hmm.
began circulating his whole in print to the scientific community. And although
It's
he
like the
did,
opposite of what you try to do today.
yeah, should have just started an OnlyFans, shouldn't he?
Exactly.
Although he did gain a few enthusiastic supporters who were big fans of his whole, the majority of the scientific community and the general public
We're haters.
surmised that Symes was a sandwich short of a picnic basket. Undeterred, Sims began gathering funds to launch an expedition to one of the poles to spelunk like no man has ever spelunked before.
Chris, don't say that.
Sadly, however, he never made it to the poles, for he died at the young age of 48, ironically,
No.
by falling into a large hole.
Are you kidding?
Yes,
I never know if you're kidding. Oh,
I'm kidding.
Okay, God.
He did manage to get his ideas out there during his life, and although there is no proof that Sims inspired Jules Verne directly, Verne, of course, went on to publish Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Certainly helped to bring the idea into the public consciousness more than ever. Not even mentioning when it eventually got made into a movie after that. I mean, this idea of a hollow Earth got so popular, in a way, that a certain man with a mustache and one testicle wanted to find a way into the hollow Earth. But let's not talk about Hulk Hogan right now.
Chris, though, can we sing the Hitler song for the Americans? Or was it an American song?
I believe it was a British song.
Hitler, he's
Has
only got one ball.
The
Hitler
other
is in the
Albert Hall.
I don't know. We don't know it turns out, but we kind of know it. It's amazing. But yeah, you know what's quite interesting? Like, we look for life. I'm assuming he's going to look for life later. I don't know. Or at least like some inhabitable place. But these days we look for it like outside of Earth. But back then they were like looking within. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only relatively recently that we have known so much about the Earth. And even then, we've still got huge gaps. But,
Yeah.
The ocean floor is still largely uncharted, but we know a lot more through seismic activity and through the different readings that we can take about what the makeup of the Earth is, that for scientists, anyway, completely eliminates the need to go searching deep underground for hidden civilizations because they simply couldn't exist.
Yeah, it's really interesting though. Like recently I've been looking at people who like believe in aliens.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, maybe Cher goes down there for like maybe she's found like the fountain of youth and she goes down there and
Possibly.
like suckles from it now and again like a butterfly. But it's a terrible word, I know. But yeah, it's weird that we used to look like within because now a lot of people who believe in aliens, some are like, yeah, they're in like outer space, and some are like, maybe they're in the ocean. I watched The Abyss recently, and I was like, maybe. But you know what? You're going to be proud of me. I also watched, I don't remember what it's called, but it was a Netflix documentary about that one woman. I think she's called Ocean. I want to say Ramsey, but I'm not sure if that's actually her name. But anyway, like.
Gordon's daughter.
No, I knew you were going to say that. Believe me or not. But yeah, she's called Ocean something. And she's the one that like swims with sharks and like knows how they behave or appears to know how they behave. And I watched it, Chris, and I wasn't that scared. So whatever magic she's doing, it definitely worked on me.
It's like the modern day Steve Irwin, man.
That's what I was saying. Like people were going, you shouldn't harass the sharks. It's like, do you know how many sharks die for like shark fin soup per year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she is not doing anything to them by just like lightly stroking their backs. Like, don't worry, they're fine. But yeah, I watched that, and as a person who has a big phobia of sharks but doesn't hate them, doesn't want to see them killed, I wasn't scared at all watching them, and that is really rare.
Well done.
And she
I'm
did
proud of you.
manage, yeah, she managed to pass a law in Hawaii that sharks can't be just hunted and killed.
That's good.
So yeah, check it out. I don't know if it's like good or not. A lot of scientists are like, this doesn't prove anything. But I'm like, okay, but what law did you pass? Anyways, back to the
But is she
center of
trying to
the earth.
prove anything, or is she trying to do conservationism, though?
Conservation, but
So there you
there
go.
is a bit of commercialism to her website, but to be honest, she's done more good than bad. So
Things need funding, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Steve Irwin had a zoo to fund
exactly.
all
Like,
the stuff that he did, and
I
yeah,
compared her to him. So yeah, if he didn't get any hate, she shouldn't. But anyway, back to the center of the earth,
yeah.
because I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
Oh, we'll get back into it. But I just want to say, I do really miss Steve Irwin.
Me too. But his son has social media. Do you watch him?
I've seen bits of him. He's basically just his dad.
He is. He's
It's
so
quite
kind.
strange.
He's so sweet, and he's just lovely.
Yeah. Okay then. So let's get back to this. So we're just talking about Nazis. So
Back to the Nazis.
back to the Nazis. According to some, and by some I mean Alex Jones types, the Nazis were searching for these very entrances into the Hollow Earth. Previously, we had a whole episode. I just realized that I spelt that with an H in my script, devoted to finding out if Hitler really did die in the Führerbunker or if he escaped to South America. Yet, foolishly, Linz, we did not consider the possibility that Hitler was simply doing a Jamiroquai and going deeper underground.
Do you know what? I was also like listening to Jamiroquai recently.
You know, Jamiroquai, fucking brilliant.
So fucking good.
So good.
So good.
But there is no real proof that the Nazis were searching for Hollow Earth. This
Is there not?
No, it's later been purported. It's mainly conspiracy theory stuff. They certainly did search for a lot of mystical stuff, and they did dip their toe. If they were knowledgeable, if they knew about this Hollow Earth theory, they probably would have done something. There probably would have been some trip to Antarctica, but this is not something that they did. So for once, something isn't Hitler's fault.
They would have if they had the time to get there, believe us.
Regardless, though, here is where historical theories meet with modern day TikTok conspiracy shit. Put that on a t-shirt. So the idea is that the Earth is hollow, or rather, as we said, there's many hollow layers. That's kind of whatever. You can see how someone might suggest this theory in the past before our modern yet still incomplete knowledge of the Earth. Some of these people we have talked about today. We can ridicule them, but they contributed major achievements to our knowledge that we had. It's just that, unfortunately, they also created a solo album made of fart noises called Hollow Earth. However, and there is always a however, this gets batshit insane with some of the theories that have been proposed after this for what is actually down there in this supposed Hollow Earth. So, Linz, hit me with your rhythm stick. What do you think could be down there? Go wild.
In the Hollow Earth?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to have to refer back to prior episodes. I'm going to say Hollow Earth, right? What have we done? Oh, okay. Green Children of Woolpit comes to mind. I'm going to say... So we learned from the Green Children of Woolpit that you can enter a deep cave that leads you to a land of green fairies. So first on my list is green fairies. Second on my list was Nazis.
Okay.
That might be ignorance, but I'm going to say it. What else would be in the Hollow Earth? I'm thinking like dragons. We've done an episode on what was he called? The Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking dragons probably come from the Hollow Earth. What else?
If anyone's played Skyrim, they're nodding their heads along right now.
And I've never played, I'm just like a folklore person. What else would come from there? Fairies, dragons, and I like demons, like hellish beasts. Maybe the devil himself. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean,
I feel like Satan would be at the core, but he would be in like. Have you ever played like VR in an arcade and you're in one of those seats that like swings about and rumbles? I feel like he would be at the core.
Okay.
Sending out like signals for people to do bad stuff.
I think, actually, you've hit upon something that I hadn't really considered, but I mean, I suppose if you think about it.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers, I feel like they'd be in the hell or the core of Earth.
So going back to Halley, he suggested that life might be down there, but he didn't really specify what. Just more like, there could be life down there.
But what was it? You asked me to guess, and now you need to tell us. What was it?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what's down
Fairies.
here. Sort of like how he proposed that there could be life on other planets. But Haley stayed delightfully vague on the subject. Sims said, hold my beer. And just went for it. Because according to Sims, once you entered his holes at the poles, great name for an album, by the way, you would find a lush world. He stated in a circular, that's his noises. I ask for 100 brave companions, well equipped to start from Siberia in the fall season, with reindeer and sleighs on the ice of the frozen seas. I engage, we will find warm and rich land, stocked with thrifty vegetables and animals, if not men. On reaching 1 degree northward of latitude 82, we will return in the succeeding spring. So, essentially, what he's saying here is that there's an inverse Earth inside the holes. It's two sides of a sheet of paper.
With a sun?
No, light would reflect onto the inside of the Earth by bouncing off Sim's rim.
Oh, because it's a hole.
Yeah, so that's kind of how he got around this, that sunlight would bounce off the rim and then refract around inside.
Right. Okay.
You're being
I feel like it would be more.
Yeah, I can hear this. You're going. You're like, right. Okay.
I feel like it would be more like an Amazon jungle type thing.
Well, that's kind of what he believed was in there. So he believed that there was like this lush world inside that was more or less, and others took this concept to state that there was inside the Earth there may be lost civilizations, giants. Ancient kingdoms, hello Atlantis. All of these things could be down there, in there. What do you want to say? These lush jungles could also hold the answer to where the dinosaurs went. They didn't disappear. They just fell into Sim's hole and couldn't get out. Fate worse than death, if you ask me.
Wait, I actually really like that.
So there you go.
So giants, like we talked about the Cardiff giant, who everyone said was a hoax. However, it got more views on our YouTube channel than the other episodes. So there's people looking for giants somewhere. So you're saying that
I am not saying. Let's be very clear about this.
You are saying, Chris, that there's giants, big men in Sim's Hole.
There are. Big men are known to inhabit Sim's Hole.
Okay.
Now, at this point, we must introduce another player, the last major player that we will today to these theories, because this next person didn't create this theory, but really introduced it and built on it in the West. We must introduce Madame Blavatsky.
Oh, is she a Russian?
She is a Russian-born mystic who emigrated to the USA in the 1870s.
Now, I like the sound of that.
She too believed that the Earth was hollow, but that there was something far more mystic inside. But before we do that, Linz, could you please describe this little babushka?
Oh, yes. Okay. Very light eyes. So I'm looking at a woman here. I'm very bad with age. And it was also back in the day, so she could have been like 19. But she looks about 50 something
Yeah, I'd
back
agree.
in the
I'd
days.
agree that, yeah.
She is wearing a lace shawl. She has braided dark hair, very light eyes. She looks very solemn. And in her hand, she is clutching a rolled up piece of paper. Very spooky. If I was watching a horror movie, I would think she was like a medium slash murderer who puts you in a pie.
Yes. Speaking of pies, if I hadn't told you she was a mystic, you might just think that she was annoyed because you just stolen a pie from her windowsill like the New Jersey Devil.
Yes. The eyes are creeping me out. I'm going to zoom. Yep, very pale blue eyes, I assume. It's in black and white, but those kind of eyes freak me out. Really sorry if you have Psyduck eyes, but it scares me.
Yeah.
She also has a ring on her finger that is quite large for the time.
Yeah,
Almost looks like a cockroach.
She is, how can I say, she enjoyed she liked a buffet.
We do not fat shame here, Chris.
No.
Stop it.
I'm allowed to because they're my people.
You are not overweight in any capacity, and you will stop it.
So, yes, you're right, though. She, for the time, she is big boned, and that is unusual. But you'll go on perhaps to see why. She later in life she was afforded some of the luxuries in life that she certainly was not born into. But what do you think that this mystic Meg could have thought was down there under the earth, under the very earth you're sitting on right now?
Right. Okay. So she had like another concept of what was down there.
She had another concept which she again didn't necessarily create, but built upon to the nth degree.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna say a sort of Jurassic place that provided larger food sources that could feed like entire one berry from a tree could feed like entire countries around the
Ooh.
world, and maybe like everything was bigger, and like you said giants, right? So I'm assuming that they were very large people, large animals, very Jurassic, like a prehistoric sized things down there that like you wouldn't need much of to sustain the entire population, and therefore there was some kind of reason, like I don't know, motivation for everyone on the surface to go and explore it because she wanted them to, just to check. I don't know.
I mean, I'm loving the theory crafting. It's as good a guess as any, to be honest.
It's going to be like fucking penguins or something, isn't it? It's just something stupid.
Well, she thought that the inner Earth was home to a penguin kingdom. No, she thought that the inner Earth was home to a hidden utopia called Agartha.
Agartha?
Yeah. Am I pronouncing it right? Yeah, so.
Agatha?
Yeah, it's written like Agatha, but it's Agartha.
Agartha, yeah. I would go with that. And what was in Agartha, Chris?
So Agartha
what
is
utopian elements were there to Agarthia in this woman's opinion?
So she believed that it was inhabited by ancient spiritually advanced beings known as the Ascended Masters, who left our plane of the earth long ago to live within the void. They are peaceful, so breathe a big sigh of relief. They come in peace, which really is the best way, if you ask me.
In pies or peace?
Sorry. The Ascended Masters hold the secrets to, you've guessed it, crystal technology, which gives them advanced psychic powers. These ascended masters are demigods known as Asuras and can traverse our plane of existence through tunnels that open up in Tibet, in addition to Sims Hole.
What? Wait, what? Tibet?
Yep.
Well, I mean, we do look upon Tibet as a sort of a spiritual place, like even today. Okay. Right, so new warp holes
Yeah.
have dropped. Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, she's trying to say that in addition to this, there's a kind of cavernous underground system that exists, and they are inhabited by these demigods that live within there. And of course, them being demigods, well, they need someone to worship, don't they?
Oh,
So what did
okay.
she do? She founded her own religion.
Right.
Yeah.
You love this, don't you? You love sassy women who make their own religions slash cults.
You know what? There is a big parallel between these two ladies. And speaking of Queen Uriel, speaking of Queen Uriel from the Church of Unarius, we'll get to that in a moment. But
Yep.
the religion that she founded, and this, I did not intend on writing about this when I started researching this, but it's theosophy.
Theosophy. Okay.
Theosophy, which
What's
is
the
really,
founding elements of that?
well, okay, not to sidebar too much here because it is really an episode all in itself, but very briefly,
Mm-hmm.
Theosophy teaches that there is an ancient and secretive brotherhood of spiritual adepts known as the Masters, who are found around the world, but primarily centered in Tibet. These Masters
Oh.
were alleged by Blavatsky to have cultivated great wisdom and supernatural powers. And Theosophists believe that they initiated the more modern theosophical movement through disseminating their teachings via Blavatsky, because of course they did. Theosophists,
It's
those
one of those
people.
episodes.
Theosophists believe that these masters are attempting to revive knowledge of an ancient religion once found around the world that will again come to eclipse existing world religions. So, stop me if you've heard this one before. One religion to replace all the existing ones? Ancient knowledge? This is going both Operation Bluebeam and Unarius at the same time.
Yes. All right, there was a lot of that going on, right? Damn.
Yeah, it seems to be an all roads lead to Rome sort of scenario in
Yeah.
this thing.
And all texts lead to fuck ups, apparently, Chris.
Yes, they do. Well, if you're going to call your bloody people theosophists,
Theosophists. Try
too
say
close
that
to,
if you're not English.
yeah, theosophists. I'm trying to do it in a Russian accent.
Theosophists.
Theosophists.
Oh, that's way easier. That's probably what it is.
Mm.
Ooh.
Oh, so I've just sent you a map of Agartha.
Wow. Okay. Like, I don't know. This is so bad, but it kind of filled me with excitement to see a map within the Earth. So, at the top, we have the North Pole. Obviously, at the south, we have the South Pole. To the west, we have India, and we're looking at it like just a 2D circle. To the right, we have Mexico with South America below it, North America above, etc., etc. And then it says 500 miles. I'm guessing 500 miles through the crust of the Earth.
Yeah, so 500
Right.
miles is the depth of the crust at the poles and 1,500 miles at the center, the equator.
The 1,500 miles, I thought it was like 4,000 to the core of the Earth. Maybe they didn't know that back then. Can you quickly Google, like, how deep is the core of the Earth? I thought it was like 4,000 miles.
Yeah, you're pretty much spot on. 3,959.
Okay, so maybe they just didn't know that back then. So 500 miles, I guess, was the crust. And how much did you say? Oh, yeah, 1,000. They thought it was 1,500 miles. So, like, kind of just under half of it. So we have inside Earth, they have a swang. Is that the sun? There's like a thing in the middle that is a circle with like lines coming off of it that looks sun-ish, and it's called Swang. To the right there's Hela, and then above that there's like a, I would call it a continent that's called Atvatabar, that has various different places within that. And then there's a big strip of land to the left half of this like diagram that is called, let me tilt my head, Bilbimistora or Plutusia. That's how I'm reading that. And that's like another continent. And then there's like unnamed things that are like clinging on to the inner crust. It is
Little hemorrhoids.
Little hemorrhoids on the crust, little growths on the inner crust of the earth. And something about me likes this. I don't know what that says about me, but
I think I always love when people detail this kind of stuff. I mean, it's cool.
The miles were off, but they have a sort of sun that they've called Swang, and I don't know what that means in a.
No, I don't know.
Was she Russian? Swang.
She was.
Swang.
But she didn't draw this picture, though.
Mm-hmm. But there's also a little dot that's probably significant to the map, but it says Hela. And yeah, there's some other places. But Atvatabar seems to be a prominent place on this sort of bisection of Earth, and I like it, and I don't know why I like it, but I do. I just like to think there's more. I think. Yeah.
Well, before we move on from Agatha, I do have to read this quote that, quite frankly, knocked me off my chair.
Okay, thank God you're reading it, because my function is going down, down, and down in this heat, Chris.
In 1886, the French occultist Alexandre Saint-Yves de Alavad wrote Mission de l'Inde en Europe, discussing Agatha. Saint-Yves' version of the story would become the most popular and influential. The book discusses how Saint-Yves had allegedly mastered astral travel and had studied with a man named Had Sharif, who had introduced him to the Agatha concept. Saint-Yves claimed Sharif was a high official of the Hindu church, although actually was a parrot shop owner with a Muslim name.
Did you say parrot?
Parrot shop owner.
Love that.
Okay. So we've made it this far, but now we do have to address, on the downward stretch, the other major theory as to what's down there. Say it with me, people. UFOs.
Yes, finally.
In the modern day, many conspiracy theorists have put forth that there are indeed holes at the poles, but the government and or NASA is covering them up and preventing access to them. These theories propose that the UFOs that we know of are actually coming from within the Earth rather than from outer space, most of the time anyway. The ancient astronauts theory is essentially that aliens visited us a long, long time ago and helped us with our advancements, like building the pyramids is a famous example. Ancient astronaut theorist Peter Cosimo stated that one of the first connections to underground aliens was when he discovered that a robot had been seen entering a tunnel below a monastery in Mongolia, which, when you say it out loud, doesn't seem quite as grand as it does when you publish it in a book, does it, Peter?
To be honest, back then, it probably was really grand, but now we have robots that like deliver Uber Eats. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't sound that impressive now, but
no, just to base your entire sort of theory. Look, I heard that there was a robot spotted going into a cave in Mongolia.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because you're like, what did they consider a robot? Like, what did that look like?
Hmm.
What was
But
their
bear in mind
concept
that
of it?
this was much more modern that this was being written in. So this was like the 60s.
Oh God, okay, whatever.
Okay, so this is, you know, Buck Rogers type of stuff. So Walter Siegmeister connected many of these ideas linking UFOs and underground religions in his book The Hollow Earth under a fake alias Dr. Raymond Bernard. That was everything was fake or stolen about this book. Pretty much, he's a rather unsavory character,
Okay.
but he purported in this book that the Ring Nebula proved the existence of hollow planets, which sounds like a gotcha moment until you realize that to the eye, the Ring Nebula does look like a bright ring with a hollow center. This could give an illusion of a hollow sphere or shell, but the Ring Nebula is a planetary nebula, which is not related to planets, despite its name. It is the glowing shell of gas ejected from a dying sunlight star, and at its center is a white dwarf, the hot, dense core of the former giant. So, sorry, mate, clamped. So, what are the aliens doing down there if this theory is true? Well, maybe just living, loving, laughing. It is now their home, but they do occasionally pop out to the shops and they use the NASCAR lines as landing strips, apparently. Do not ask me to expand on that.
Okay.
Another theory that's proposed is that they are the watchmen. They are waiting for the day that the doomsday clock is about to tick to midnight, its final second, at which time they will sweep in and save the day. If this theory is true, I think we can probably expect to see them in the next fortnight at this rate.
Yep, I was about to say, where are you?
Others propose that the Earth is kind of been made into a propulsion system that we just happen to live on the outside of, a launch pad midway between the aliens' home planet and their true destination. They can stop here, refuel, put their feet up for the night before being launched at intergalactic speeds from technology in the core of the planet. Essentially, think about the Earth as one of those speed up squares from Mario Kart. Fly in into the center and shoot out of Sim's hole. Like a ping pong ball. Linz, what if, though, what if the aliens down there are actually our future selves? What
What?
if this isn't our first go around and we are destined to become them? What if there's previously been civilizations, such as Atlantis, that have been wiped out through some kind of catastrophe? The survivors went underground, only through the trauma of these events that would allow them to access the crystal technology. And they are waiting for the day that we destroy ourselves to scoop up the survivors and increase our numbers in the hollow earth until that repeats itself again and again and again. What if, Linz? What if?
Well, all I know is that we should go down there and harvest some kidneys, Chris.
Quite possibly.
Time to get some fresh organs.
So,
And
Linz,
also see what kind of research they've done compared to
yes.
us, maybe.
Well,
I don't
supposedly
know.
they are,
Yeah.
they've got crystal technology, Linz, which is delightfully vague, but will solve everything.
Well, let's take an elevator right down there, Chris, before our time, I would say. The
Mm.
jokes that we have made will probably land us a space at the Earth's core at some point.
So, Linz, what are your thoughts on this, on Hollow Earth, and which of the theories of what might be down there, if plausible, do you like the most?
I like the idea that there is something there. I don't think there is, but I like it. And I would say, of everything you've said, I would like there to be, fuck it, giants. I just want to see a giant. Since the Cardiff Giant episode, I've just thought, Wouldn't it be nice to go outside and just see some massive guy?
Stand outside my place.
How about you?
I love the idea that there's a sort of
massive guy.
Well, yeah, I love the idea that there is like a kind of like dinosaurs down there. It's kind of like King Kong-esque.
Yes,
like going
yeah,
to
that
Kong
was my
Island.
second thing, obviously, like dinosaurs.
I do like, obviously I like the idea of aliens down there, but for me, this is one where the science just overrides things for me. Like,
Finally, hold on. You believe in, what were those little green men? Those
aliens?
No,
Which ones?
the case with the quote unquote little green men.
Oh.
The somethingsville somethings. You believe in those. You believe in, I'm assuming, Bigfoot because you are blood related. You believe in so many weird aliens and cryptids, and now you're like, dinosaurs?
I mean, I don't believe in these things. I want to believe in. There's a very key difference between those.
I think
but
you
I'm
do
yet
believe
to be
in
convinced.
I want giant men outside of my door when I open it.
Post on Craigslist. I'm sure they'll be there soon enough.
I'm in the right country. I was going to say continent, but yeah, country.
So I think that this is a great scientific concept, like a science fiction concept, but just from everything that we know, the only way it could be possible would be if there were, alien civilizations inside the Earth that had somehow hollowed it out and were using some kind of futuristic technology to keep the Earth in one piece, because otherwise it would all just collapse in on itself and start making a new planet all over again.
I don't like the idea that, like, Hitler may be down there, like, preserving his
with
youth.
the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
just when
I don't like that.
You thought it was bad in the Third Reich, just wait at the fourth one. He's got T-Rexes.
Yeah, like, I don't like that idea. That scares me a bit. But maybe he's mellowed out down there. He's doing his painting.
In his old age.
Know. Yeah, I don't like that idea. Maybe him being neutered has changed his views. Not sure. Don't like that idea. But I do like the idea of giants and maybe aliens. But then again, aren't they just like slimy know-it-alls? Do we really want to meet them? I don't know, Chris.
Slimy know-it-alls. I've met a few of those in my time.
Well, you've met some greys, apparently. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it. And I think it's something that people over the centuries have probably been like, maybe there's something done there. But like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, I don't think that it's a thing.
I categorize this along the lines of flat Earth and other things like that.
Me too.
Which, spoiler if we ever do an episode on that, but I'm not a subscriber to that theory.
Have you ever been on the equator, Chris?
I have not.
That'll make you believe in some stuff. I've been in Surabaya in Indonesia. Oh my fucking God. You do feel like you're in hell. Everyone there is lovely, but it is hot as fuck. And if you did a little Bugs Bunny down there, 4,000 miles, I think you might find something. Maybe.
You definitely find something, definitely. But whether it's aliens or molten lava would be
I'm thinking massive millipedes.
I mean, as long as it's massive millipedes and not massive centipedes. Because I can deal with millipedes, but centipedes can fuck right off.
Yeah. If you've ever lived in Asia, you know.
Well, thank you very much, Linz, for listening to this story. I hope you found it enlightening.
It was delightful, and I'm definitely going to have some sweaty summer nightmares about it tonight.
Are you sweating about Sim's hole?
Yeah. Who isn't out there? Who isn't?
Well, thanks for listening, and remember, as David Lynch liked to say, keep your eye on the donut, not the hole.
And what was he exactly? Like a
Hold on.
astronomer? Oh, it's cuckoo clock hour. It's time for Chris to take his medication.
I'm glad you hear the birds this time, not just me. I rescued a bird today.
Oh, tell us about it while the bird tweets.
It was just like on the ground, just like, and I was like, you all right, mate? And it just was just kind of there. And I was like, is it injured? It didn't really
What
seem
kind
to
of
be
bird?
injured. I'm not sure. It might have been a baby starling or baby something. It was. I didn't get time to take a picture of it. I just quickly popped into a shop nearby and got a cardboard box from him. Popped the bird into the box, and then I was going to take it home and call the RSPCB, but then it took a shit and flew off. So moral of the story, it was probably just trying to take a shit and I interrupted it.
Do not cut that out. Okay, Edmund.